Hello everybody, my name is Rebecca Grace and I'm a Squarespace website designer for travel photographers. And today we are going to be looking at adding a custom font to different areas of your website. So this just can help you stand out a little bit from the crowd and making sure that you're not just using a template but adding your own little bit of vibe to it. So if you have purchased a font from somebody else to use on your business cards and things like that, this is how you add that into your site. So you will need to have purchased or downloaded a font. Make sure that you have the copyright to that font so you're not using a font that you've just taken from somebody else, but one that you've purchased or have the rights to. So you go down to Design, Custom CSS, right? And the first thing you'll need to do is actually upload the font file that you will be using. So scroll down to Manage Custom Files, and you're going to add images or fonts. So go through your computer and find the font file, like an OTF or something like that you've downloaded. Click on it and click Open. Now, just because we've uploaded it into the backend does not mean that the website actually knows how to use it. So I have provided for you a code that you can use. So I promise you this is not going to be too intense for you. All you need to do is copy and paste this section into your site. So copy and paste that onto here. And this is going to actually input this into the back end of the site so your site knows how to use a certain file. Okay, so what you will need to change from this code is name and link. So you need to tell the computer what you're naming it, and every time you use that name, you want it to use the font from this link. That's what you're saying. So first thing is delete out the word link. Make sure you keep in the two quotes, the two commas there. If you do not have those, your code will not work. So you're making sure that you have both of them and your pointer, your cursor is right in between the two. Then you're going to scroll down, click on Manage Custom Files, and click on that file that you just uploaded. And it will input the URL or the link to that file. Okay. So again, make sure you have the little quotes there, and your link is just going to go in between those. The next thing you need to do is change the word name to whatever you want the font to be called. So mine is Futura Standard, but it really can be, it doesn't have to match what they called it. You can call it whatever you want because you're telling the computer, whenever I use this name, I want you to use the font in this file. So it's okay if you name it whatever you want. Just make sure that whatever you use here, you have to use in the next few steps or it won't work, and you have to make sure you spell it completely. So make sure it's something that you can, repeat. Okay, so now we're going to tell the computer or the system where to actually use that font. So if you would like to use this in, where I have Joe's Steakhouse here, so in your branding at the top, I want you to copy and paste the branding code that I left below this video. Okay, so has site title, header, branding. The only thing you have to change here is the word name, and you can literally just copy and paste whatever you named it above into that spot. Okay, but again, make sure you have the little quotations, and you'll notice that it changed up here. You'll have to go into the style editor and make sure that it's, you have it the right size and things like that. But that's how you change the actual font there. If I want to change, sometimes when you go into mobile, you'll notice here that it didn't change it in mobile. It only changed it on desktop. So if I want it changed on both, you're going to use the mobile bar branding code. And again, all you're going to do is just change name to be whatever you've named that font. So now when I go to mobile, it has changed it to that. Now I will again have to go through and make sure I've changed the font in the style editor to a correct font there. Okay, so we can go in and do that in a second. And if there's anywhere else that I want to change it, so if I want all of my heading 1s to have that, then you're going to use my heading 1 code. And again, changing the word name to be whatever you have called your font. Okay. And you can actually change this to be whichever you want. So heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, or if you want it to be for your body text, you're actually going to use a P for paragraph. So the code for body text is actually P for paragraph. Okay. But there's my heading 2s. You notice my heading 3s. Okay, and that should be just about anything you'd want to add a custom font to as a general thing. It gets a little bit more intense if you want it to change it on just a specific page or just a specific section. So if you want, it just the heading 1 in your footer and things like that, gets a little more intense. But that should cover just about anything you'd want for generic fonts. So then once you're done, make sure you click Save at the top or else this will disappear. And then you can go into Site Styles. Click on the section here. And I see I have header branding here. So when I click on header branding font, you don't have to worry about whatever's here because we've changed that to be our custom font. But the rest of this will change, so if you want the size to go down, for instance, if it's too tall, so we can edit the size there. Okay, if you don't want it to be uppercase or line height or whatever else you want to change in here, you can alter that. So make sure that we also go in and alter it for our mobile. So mobile branding, again, the font. This won't matter, but I can change the size. To match what I would like. Okay, and same with anything in here. Okay, so that is how you add a custom font.